The Qur'an calls mountains pegs, awtad, a strange word, until you see what geologists found under them: roots plunging several times deeper than the peaks are high. Science drew that picture in 1865. The Qur'an described it 12 centuries earlier. So how did it get there? God says in the Qur'an, "Have we not made the earth as a bed, and the mountains as pegs?" Two short verses. One everyday image: the earth spread out like a bed to rest on, and the mountains driven into it like pegs. A note before we go on. What you just heard is a translation of the meaning. The Arabic word is awtad, the pegs that anchor a tent. And as you'll see, that one word carries a claim about the earth that no one alive in the 7th century had any way to test. Think about what a tent peg actually is. The part you see above the ground is the smallest part of it. Most of a properly set peg is hidden beneath the surface. That's the whole reason it holds. So when the Qur'an calls mountains pegs, it is quietly making two claims at once. First, that the towering mass you can see is not the whole mountain. That there is more of it, unseen, below. And second, that mountains do a job. They hold, they anchor, they steady. Now picture 7th century Arabia. No geology, no seismographs, no way to look beneath the crust of the earth. To every eye on earth, a mountain was simply a mass sitting on the ground. The idea that it plunges into the ground, like an iceberg, like a peg, was not just unknown. It was unimaginable. Fast forward 1,200 years. In 1865, the British astronomer Royal, Sir George Airy, proposed something startling. That mountains must have roots, vast extensions of lighter crust, reaching down into the denser rock beneath, buoying the peaks up, the way an iceberg floats with most of its bulk underwater. The mountain you see is the tip. The mountain you don't see is below. Modern earth science confirmed it. A university reference textbook, simply titled Earth, co-authored by Professor Frank Press, who served as science advisor to the President of the United States and led the National Academy of Sciences in Washington for 12 years. States it plainly: mountains have underlying roots, deeply embedded in the ground. In his book, the mountain, with its root, is drawn, and the shape is a peg, and the scale is astonishing. Those roots can reach several times the height of the mountain above the surface. Mount Everest rises nearly 9 kilometers above sea level, and the root beneath a great range like the Himalayas reaches far deeper still. Most of the mountain is exactly where the Qur'an implied it was: hidden beneath the surface. The most suitable word, in any language, for a shape like that. A small visible head, a long buried anchor. It's precisely the word the Qur'an chose: a peg. And the Qur'an doesn't stop at the shape. In Surah An-Nahl, God says, "And He has set firm mountains in the earth, so that it would not shake with you." Not just pegs in form, pegs in function. The verse assigns mountains a role, steadying the ground, restraining its shaking. For centuries, that would have sounded like poetry. Then came plate tectonics, the framework modern geology is built on, and with it, a picture no one expected. The Earth's outer shell is not still. It is a mosaic of moving plates. And mountains, with their deep roots pinning crust to mantle, act as stabilizers for the Earth. And here is the detail worth sitting with. Science only began to understand that stabilizing role in the framework of plate tectonics in the late 1960s, within living memory. The claim sat in the Qur'an for 13 centuries, waiting for instruments capable of checking it. So put the two verses side by side with the timeline of discovery. The shape of a mountain. A peg, mostly hidden underground. Proposed by Airy in 1865. Confirmed by modern earth science in the 20th century. The function of a mountain. A stabilizer. That restrains the shaking of the earth. Understood only since the late 1960s. Both are stated in plain everyday language in a book recited in the deserts of Arabia in the 7th century by a man who, as we saw in the last episode, could not read or write. Could anyone in his time have known the true shape of mountains? Could anyone even imagine that the solid, massive mountain before their eyes ran deep into the earth and held a root, as scientists now affirm? There were no drills, no seismic surveys, no maps of the crust. There was no path from the knowledge of that age to these two claims. And yet both claims turned out to be true. Modern geology has confirmed the truth of the Quranic verses. Here's an honest way to hold this. One verse could be a lucky image. Deserts have tents. Tents have pegs. But the Quran committed to both halves of the picture. The hidden root and the steadying function. Two independent claims, each unverifiable for over 1,000 years, each verified in the last century and a half. And this is the second episode in a row where the pattern repeats. A precise statement about the unseen. The embryo last time. The mountain's root this time? Sitting quietly in the Qur'an until science caught up. At some point, the question stops being, is this a coincidence? And becomes the question the Qur'an itself keeps asking. If not from the creator of the earth, then from where? Pegs above, roots below, and a planet held steady between them. Described 1,400 years ago, confirmed within living memory. This episode, like this whole series, is based on the book A Brief Illustrated Guide to Understanding Islam by I.A. Ibrahim. The reference for every quote you heard today. You'll find it in the description. Next episode, we go bigger still. The origin of the entire universe. And why the Qur'an says the heavens began as smoke. If this made you think, like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe, and follow the series. And I'll see you in the next one.